Good morning. Welcome to today's video. It is going to be a very chill get ready with me / Q&A, so kind of like a chatty get ready with me. I posted a little comment question box on Instagram like over a week ago to do a YouTube Q&A, and I have just been busy, also tired if I'm being super honest. But better late than never. Here we are. We're just gonna get right on into it. There's a lot of questions in here. I'm definitely not gonna get to all of them. Starting off with one that is very common. How's your cut going? How's your cut going? Calories and macros. Love you. Thank you so much, Jess. Cut is going really well. I always go into cuts really like slow and steady now. I'm doing a full week of eating right now. That will kind of explain it a little bit more. But ever since I stopped competing, I've just been super flexible with dieting. I always give myself plenty of time because realistically with my schedule and just the lifestyle I like to live, I know I need to give myself time to see results because I'm just not, I don't like being super strict. Be right back. I want my beauty blender. So yeah, cut's going well. We've obviously had some things that have come up that have thrown me off track a little bit, but that's why I plan for that to happen because it's just like, that's life. But yeah, overall, I feel like I've seen really good results. I did just post a before starting to current picture on Instagram, and you can definitely tell I've made progress. I always find it so interesting. The first time I competed, I was like, oh my gosh, look at how tiny my waist gets. And now every single time I'm like, I know it's gonna happen, but every time it's just like my waist is the first place I gain weight, and then also seems like the first place kind of the first place it comes off. Anyway, cut's going good. Calories, macros, I'm basically still trying to stay around 1,800 calories. I haven't adjusted my calories at all. I'm not tracking macros like super strictly. It's mainly more of like trying to stay around a certain area, and as long as I feel good. I have upped my activity a little bit. And that's kind of how I like to diet now. I would much rather have more food to be able to fuel my workouts and like feel good in the gym / at home right now and just feel good in like day-to-day life and just be more active. And yeah, so that's how it's been going. That's been like my plan, and I'm really happy with how all of that has worked out. Someone said, how do you deal with people in your personal life hating on your YouTube success? I have very supportive people around me. Thankfully, if there are people who hate, they're not people in my day-to-day life, and therefore their opinions don't bother me because I'm happy, everyone around me is happy, and that's really all that matters. So thankfully, I don't really get that, and if there is any of it, no one's saying it to my face. And like I mentioned, at the end of the day, that wouldn't really bother me. This is one I think you guys will all be very interested in. Someone asked, if you get another animal, what would it be, cat or a dog? Definitely not another cat. Sounds horrible to say, but we wouldn't get another cat until one of our other cats passes. Lily and Logan are both older, but they're both really healthy, so I foresee them being around for a very long time. Hopefully. The next animal we would get would 100% be a dog, and we actually just put a deposit down on a doggo today. We really want to Bernedoodle. It's gonna be a while because we're being pretty picky with what we want. We need something that is an animal we need a dog that's gonna be good with other animals, obviously, because we have cats and they're already older and like very, very set in their ways. Chris and I obviously want kids. My dad already has a dog, Buddy, so they need to be able to get along with Buddy, as we'll probably have both of them over. We put a deposit down. I wouldn't expect us to have a dog for like another 6 months, just the way that their litters are looking. But yeah, that was very, very exciting. This is a good one. How do you deal with cravings when you're extra hungry? I try to drink a ton of water, and Logan is just gonna keep nudging me. I don't know if you guys can see him. I drink a ton of water. That usually helps because it kind of makes you feel full. And gum. Gum helps me so much. I know that sounds so silly. That's always been something that has helped me get through cravings and just when I am having a lot of hunger. gum is always the answer. I always have gum in the house, and yeah, that's what helps me the most. But also eating just higher volume foods with lots of vegetables, that will be super helpful. Just make you feel more satiated, aka full longer. Home tour, Sierra, there will be a home tour coming as soon as we get our backsplash done. So basically, once we get back from Hawaii, the goal is to get the backsplash done, hopefully fly Rico out for like a week and create content with him, and he will help us do a home tour so it looks very professional. And yeah, that's kind of the plan. So there will be a home tour coming. We just want to have the backsplash done first. I don't really care about the basement being totally done, but I want the kitchen to be done. Dream collabs. You guys already know the one. I've talked about it multiple times. My dream would be to have a little collab line with Lululemon. I did bring that up to them. However, that is such a large company and they're not all back in the office yet. So there's a lot of moving parts. And the girl I brought it up to, like the person I'm in constant communication with, she's like, I don't even know who I have to go to for this, but like, we're gonna try to figure it out. So we'll see. That's not like a guaranteed it will happen. However, it could. So that's something I would love to do. And I would love to collab with the companies I'm already working with just because I clearly support them. So we'll see. Lots of opportunities, I think. Where's your bedroom rug from? I will link this. This is from Rugs USA. We got basically all of our rugs from Rugs USA because they were way more affordable than, what's it called? Well, a lot of the other places. I found some at Lulu in Georgia, Pottery Barn, but they were all so expensive. So Rugs USA had some really good options and we love this one. Lots of dieting questions, which I was kind of expecting because I'm on a diet right now. But someone asked for tips in being in a calorie deficit without counting calories. I think that is, first of all, it's a great question or great thing to ask, and it brings up a really good point. A lot of people think that you have to like track macros or track your calories in order to see results and have fat loss. That is definitely not true. It's super helpful because you know exactly, like it's the perfect equation to see results if you follow that to a T, or at least pretty closely. But you can still see progress without tracking. It's just a little bit more of a guessing game, and it's probably gonna take a little bit longer, but you can basically just make little changes. So if you're eating larger portions right now, like you could literally stick with what you're eating right now, just make your portions a little bit smaller, increase your activity. All of that will make a difference over time. And then if you start to see progress, keep doing that. When you stop seeing progress with that, increase your activity a little bit or eat a little bit smaller portions, maybe cut out one of your snacks. Like there are so many different things you can do to see progress and to diet. It's just basically what you're going to be able to sustain and what I don't want to say no one enjoys dieting, but what you can handle and maintain. I mean, that's going to be the biggest thing. So if you're someone who really can't track, that's totally fine. You don't need to. But yeah, just make your meal portions a little bit smaller to start, or increase your activity, or both, and stick with that. You have to be consistent. It's not something where you can like be on it Monday through Friday and then binge eat on the weekends. Like that will take you out of your deficit. It has to be consistent. So yeah, I would start there. I would just decrease your portion sizes a little bit on some of your meals and maybe find some alternatives to some of the things you're eating that are a little bit more lower calorie. Not for you to track, just so you know what you're consuming is a little bit lower than what you were eating before. Oh boy, what kind of birth control do you use? I don't even know what the brand is right now. I'm not gonna lie. Birth control has been annoying to me right now. Basically, I was off of birth control for like a year. Everything was going great. And then I decided, and then I got my period like 3 times in a month, and that was super annoying between stress, getting it normally, anxiety, like my hormones were just all over the place, and I decided to get back on birth control because Chris and I are not ready for kids quite yet. And I was also having the ovarian cyst issue, which birth control can help ovarian cysts. Little side note, if you have an opinion on whether or not birth control should be taken for that, please just keep that to yourself. But I talked to my OBGYN and we made that decision together. So that is the discussion between me and her, not like me and everybody else. I appreciate the opinions, but also they're just like not needed here. Just wanted to preface that because I got some very heated messages on Instagram about it and it's just not what I needed. But got on birth control, which I got on birth control when I was in high school because my periods were super irregular and I did cheerleading and track where I was like living in spandex. So the last thing I wanted was to start my cycle during a track meet or in the middle of a football game, cheering and doing a jump and being like, oh, look at that. Fun surprise. But yeah, I got onto it super easy last time and I was just assuming this would be the same. But I think because my hormones were already kind of all over the place with the anxiety I was dealing with at the time, and just the cyst stuff, I mean, I was just dealing with a lot of anxiety. My body's just been kind of a little all over the place. So I've had multiple periods in 2 months, which has been a little frustrating, but it is starting to regulate itself, I feel like. And yeah, I don't know the brand. I think it was just a more generic one. I don't know. But that's a conversation and like something you should figure out with your doctor. I wouldn't take recommendations from anyone else because at the end of the day, they have a different body than you. They have a different experience than you. You need to figure that out with your doctor. All right, I'm gonna do eyeliner, I think, or do I just wanna do mascara? I'm keeping it like very simple. One eye done, I think that looks pretty good. This is the one that's gonna be a little rough. What are you most excited for in the next few months? We're about to go to Hawaii, so I'm very excited for that. And we also have a family vacation with Chris's family. And Chris and I have been together for 10 years now. But we've never been on a family vacation together with his family, which will be super fun. It was very, very sweet. One of his brother's friends' families gifted this vacation to his family when everything happened. So it was very sweet of them, and we can all go spend some time together, which is really fun. And we are also launching another company! Eee! I can't really talk about it yet. I hate when people say that, but I've talked about it on Instagram, so I'm sure, like I've talked about it on lives a couple times, but the closer we get, I'm trying to like keep it on the DL until we can like announce the actual whole thing, when it's gonna launch, all of that, but it's very exciting. So I'm probably most excited for that. All right, someone asked, and I get this question all the time, what cameras do I use and what camera is best? I have had the Canon G7X ever since I started. I'm on my second one. Currently the bigger one, I got this like a little over a year ago. This is the one I'm recording with right now is my bigger one, and it's a Sony 6400. It's much nicer. The quality is just better. I still use my Canon G7X all the time though because it's so compact. It's just so much easier to like carry around and take places, travel with. This is a big guy, but I would say the camera that's best is one that has a flip up screen if you're like me and recording all of your content by yourself, because it's so nice to make sure you're in focus, you're centered, you're recording. Like, it's just huge. If you have someone who's gonna help you record, that's not really like a make or break, but for me, I definitely need a camera where I can see myself because it's huge. The thing that would suck the most, and I have done multiple times, my camera's turned off before because it's like overheated, and thankfully I have very good hearing, so I heard it like click off, but I was like, oh, I hope that was recording the whole time. And if it's out of focus, that's the worst. So yeah, the camera that's best is, honestly, I guess my first answer would be whatever you can afford. iPhones are so nice now, you can easily just record with your phone. Just turn it sideways and there you go. You've got yourself a nice camera. So if you can't afford a camera, I would just start with whatever you have. But yeah, other than that, Canon G7X and Sony A6400, I love. I think I'm gonna call this good for the makeup look, and we'll answer a few more questions. How did you and Chris meet? And what was your first impression of each other? We met in high school. The first time I ever saw him was at football pictures. So it was my freshman year. I went in to take pictures for like the football season. I was a cheerleader, he was a football player, and I saw him and I was like, oh my gosh, he's very cute. But he had a girlfriend at the time, and once again, I was a freshman. I was definitely not thinking about dating a senior at all. Wasn't even in my head, but that was the first time I noticed him, and I thought he was very cute. I was really good friends with his brother, Matt, who was a year older than me, 2 years younger than Chris. Him and I were really good friends, so I knew his family for quite a while before we actually started talking, and knew they were good people. They were all very sweet. And then we had mutual friends who were kind of talking, and he came over to my mom's house one time. I had no idea that they were coming, but they did. And Chris and I played Rock Band like all night. It was super fun. And then, yeah, we didn't really talk that much after that. And then randomly started talking again, and we spent like hours on Skype the one night just chit-chatting. And the first time we ever hung out, it was like super easy conversation. I was so nervous. I had like movies ready to go, and we didn't touch the TV the whole time. We just sat and talked. And yeah, that was like how we got started. But that, I mean, we were babies, you know. Favorite white workout shoes? APLs. I love my white APL Techloom Bliss. I think they just look so clean and crisp and go with everything. Dream car versus your car now. I mentioned these on Instagram very recently. I also talked about it on here. I'm so stuck between this. We're gonna test drive cars once we get back from Hawaii, but I love the look of the Cadillac XT6. It's a little bit bigger than what I have now, which is the SRX. I don't like the interior as much. Like, I like the exterior of the Cadillac XT6, and I like the interior of the Lincoln Aviator. So I need to test drive them both like in the same day, and Chris is gonna be with me next time so we can kind of make a decision. But they're both just so expensive. It's like I wanna be 100% in love with a car before I make a large purchase like that. So a white SUV is basically my dream car. All right, I think this is a good one to end on just because there are a lot of dieting questions, because that's what I've been doing recently. Fastest way to lean out and build muscle. I think you're looking at it from the wrong perspective. If you're looking for a quick fix or a quick solution, you're already kind of in the wrong headspace, in my personal opinion, because anything that's gonna get you there quick is most likely not gonna be sustainable. In terms of building muscle quick, building muscle takes time. That's something you just have to be super consistent with. But in terms of like leaning out, losing body fat, I'm always going to preach slow and steady wins the race, because I could give a program to a client and they could drop fat immediately and reach their goals super quickly, but they're gonna be on really low calorie, they're gonna hate their life, they're gonna have to be so restrictive with how they handle family functions, their food, like what you can do. You just can't really live your life that way. And that's usually where you see people yo-yo diet, because they have to be super restrictive, and then when they're done, or they go on that vacation or whatever they were dieting for, once that's done, they're like, oh, finally I can have the foods that I wanted. And then you binge. And then it's this back and forth. That's how I was when I competed in the bikini competitions. The 2 seasons I competed, I had the worst relationship with food that I had ever had before, and I hated that. So that's why my approach now is slow and steady wins the race. If you stay consistent over time, you will see progress, and you could choose to go a little bit more aggressive on a diet and cut calories a little bit more, or increase cardio a little bit more. I usually, like, I mentioned, my calories are like between 1900 daily, and some days they're a little bit lower if I'm not as hungry, but I think average throughout the week, they have consistently been like 1850, 1900. But my activity's higher and I feel better in the gym. Like I feel like I can give more effort in my workouts to build muscle and maintain my muscle because I am fueling myself properly. So that is my personal opinion. We're gonna end it there because I hope some of you are able to take little tidbits out of that and hopefully apply it to your diet or just your life in general. I will always say this, I incorporate fitness into my life, not life into my fitness. When I was competing, I felt like I was incorporating life into my fitness 100%, and I really struggled with that. You only get one life to live, it goes by fairly quickly, and I think you should enjoy it. Now, does that mean you can't look good along the way? No, I've been dieting, I've still been enjoying life, and it's been working out great. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I've been like parched, talking way too much. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any questions about like the products I was using, I will have those linked down below. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Chris and I have to go get our COVID test for Hawaii in 2 hours. So I think I have time to record my spring favorites video, but I might just have to do that when I get home. That's why I did my makeup. So I have to record it today.